Welcome back to the Second Best Sports Show
Ever.
ever. Just second best.
Just like you, to forget the name of your own show.
It's been a
Classic.
long week, you know.
It has been a long week.
Halloween weekend. See, the microphone's having a tough week too. Okay.
Whoa!
Very tough week.
Jeez Louise. I hear you. Jeez. That's a bad omen.
Nah, I mean,
We're not off to a good start so
No.
far.
or a great one, yeah, because
Or a great
the,
one.
the mic just got injured like everyone else in the league this
The
year.
mic was trying to drop itself.
Yeah. Oh!
But we haven't really done anything yet to deserve a mic drop. So hopefully we can earn that. Okay, so this week it's been I would say a more interesting week in football. More interesting than any week so far, I would say.
No, yeah, by far.
Because teams are starting to feel like they need to do so many different things, and teams are making moves.
Yeah, and we're halfway through the year, so a lot of teams are already set in their ways, so you know which teams are good, which ones aren't at this point for the most part. Yeah, a trade happened. Trades
trade.
rarely happen. Yeah,
Woo.
a trade.
Big trade,
It's a
though.
new record.
Big trade.
Yeah, pretty big trade.
Vernon Davis going to the Broncos.
Just for some draft picks.
2
Late round
6-round
draft picks, yeah.
I think.
So that's a fair trade for both sides. Especially with the Niners rebuilding.
With someone like Vernon Davis, I probably would have expected a little more than 2 6-round picks for him, just because I feel that the only reason he's having the year that he's having is because Kaepernick has been their quarterback and the 49ers has been his team. But I guess there's only one way to figure out if that's true and see what he does on the Broncos.
See, I think he's towards the end of his career. He's, like 31? That's not that old for tight end. You got Witten, who's probably like 33, 34. Like Miller around the same age. But he hasn't done anything in the last 2 years, really.
Mm-hmm.
And but he is going to the Broncos, who have a killer defense. You know, they're gonna rock out.
Yeah.
And then you got Peyton Manning's going to go down as one of the greatest of all
Yeah,
time.
you gotta look at the Broncos last year, what they did with Julius Thomas.
Yeah.
Obviously, Julius Thomas going to the Jaguars, he's been kind of gone. He's literally just non-existent anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries, nobody cares about him. Whatever.
Yeah.
You pick, but with it's kind of a scary pickup for me, like as someone who's not hoping that the Broncos won't win it all this year because we're from Seattle, but
we got Vernon Davis.
it's kind of a scary pickup. I'm sure that's what it was like when the Seahawks picked up Jimmy Graham, though.
Yeah, for the rest of the league.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit, the Seahawks got Jimmy Graham.
Then all of a sudden you touch us and we don't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little
So
scary.
I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, this whole Vernon Davis pickup, until something happens. We see something. But I'm just saying that I feel that Vernon Davis will have a bigger part in the NFL after this trade.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Gary Kubiak as coach, who's always got his tight ends involved in every team he's been on. So I feel like it was a perfect trade for what they gave up.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, so watch out for the Broncos, is all I can say. Did the ass whooping that they gave to the Packers last week, I can't believe it. 77 yards for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I figured it'd be a low-scoring game, but I didn't figure Rodgers wouldn't throw less than 100 and no TDs. I didn't think that was possible.
No, I mean, he's best quarterback in the NFL. At least he was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And he's had a few bad weeks. But people might lose patience with him a little quicker than others. I mean, he's still Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
This guy's constantly been amazing.
Just remember too, was it last year where they were, I don't know, like 2-3 or something like that, and then you did the whole just RELAX relax thing, and then they started going on a banana tear hair.
Banana tire hair.
Yeah, banana tear hair started destroying. So
yeah,
you gotta trust the man.
A lot of people might say they should have been in the Super Bowl last year.
Easily. Right.
So anyway, don't lose confidence in Aaron Rodgers because he's still what I think is the best. And you got Tom Brady, which I'm surprised Tom Brady is still doing his fucking thing.
Well, he's got 20 TDs and 1 pick.
Yeah, he.
That's crazy.
I don't know. I thought that this would be the year that he would slow down a little bit, but apparently, it might never happen.
As long as you go on Gronk, it's not going to happen. And running backs who will run out of the field so you can dink and dunk.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they a couple weeks ago, would they have 4 rushing attempts or something?
Yeah, he was a leading rusher. Yeah,
Tom Brady was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Against the Jets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking about that. Yeah,
was.
that's ridiculous. Which wasn't normally their approach to the game in the beginning of the season. They weren't just only passing, but Dion Lewis is having some.
Yeah, he was going through some injuries at the time. Yeah. What's crazy is that they're passing him literally 98% of the time, and like still taking advantage.
Yeah.
Of that team. That's gnarly.
The last time, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, Dion Lewis. Dion Lewis, he out of the backfield had like 90-something yards receiving.
Yeah.
And less than 10 rushing.
Typical Lewis game. Actually.
I mean, at that point, like, it's basically just having all receivers on the field.
Yeah.
It's pretty ridiculous, but obviously whatever they're doing is working because they're 7-0.
Yeah.
So, another thing that's happened here in the NFL this week is...
Taste peanuts.
Penis.
I said peanuts, okay?
Joseph Randle got injured, and apparently he's just, and then he got cut. It's just like his world literally got turned upside down.
Mm-hmm. He went from starter, to getting hurt to getting cut.
It's insane.
Mm-hmm. What was he about to do? Start flipping those flapjacks at McDonald's all day breakfast menus. I'm a McDonald's.
Aside from flipping flapjacks at flipping flapjacks at McDonald's. Flipping flapjacks at McDonald's apparently is working the morning shift.
No, McDonald's.
No, they do it all day. All day. They got it all
Yeah.
day now. All day. True. Joseph Randle, gone.
Gone.
As an NFL player in the NFL. For now.
Yeah, for now, that's the thing.
He
He's
will
going to
get
get a
picked
job, for sure.
He will get picked up. He has 4 touchdowns this year in a subpar offense that people loaded up on the running game because of the lack of Tony Romo.
Yeah.
He did. I think he did well for being the replacement that was already there for Darren McFadden. I mean, for DeMarco Murray.
Yeah, he did okay.
So, and it started off great. Like, it looked pretty good, and then just things kind of started going downhill. But he'll get a job, basically what we're saying.
Do you have any particular teams? Because I got one right off the bat that I think be perfect fit.
What's that?
Niners. Every running back on the Niners is hurt right now.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, they have 4 running backs hurt. So, instantly right there.
Or the Browns.
As a player. No, Browns are legit, man.
They're not.
Duke Johnson.
Duke Johnson
Duke
Jr.
Johnson. He's a Dion Lewis Jr.
Is he?
He's just like Dion Lewis. He only catches out of backfield.
Anyway, Duke Johnson Jr. He shows something, but you can't just.
No.
I mean, he's basically he literally reminds me of Thomas Rawls, except for a better pass catcher.
Mm-hmm.
And Thomas Rawls, I mean, he's nowhere near what a starting job in the NFL.
Yeah,
like
true.
he showed promise when Marshawn Lynch was out,
Yeah.
but he hasn't. I mean, there's no way we could say that Thomas Rawls would be a starting running back, and I don't think if Duke Johnson Jr. was a starting running back week after week,
Yeah.
would he succeed and thrive in this NFL yet? No.
Hashtag too young. But yeah, no, that'd be a good fit.
And while we're there, DeMarco Murray, is he really doing his thing?
No, but that's with Chip Kelly's magical mind over there.
Yeah.
Who knows what the fuck they're doing on offense?
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, technically, I would say that Joseph Randle has had a better year than DeMarco Murray, judging based on their expectations.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
Taste good show.
do you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that Joseph Randle is always going to have a spot in the NFL because I see the potential.
Yeah, maybe he'll even steal the spot. Get it? Because it's shoplifting last year.
Yeah, and by the way, he was released for not only because he was injured, because he seems to have mental issues. Segueing from the whole Randall issue with the injury and whatever else is going on in his life, we're going to go to injuries that happen in week 8 of the NFL season. Got some big ones. There's a lot of them. People are starting to fall apart.
Yeah, I got one that touched home. That's for sure. Jamal Charles, first pick. My second pick was Bell. Both
Damn.
out for the year. Yeah, but add Bell to the list.
Very unlucky.
Yeah. But besides fantasy, dude, he's one of my favorite running backs in the game.
Who?
Bell.
Bell?
I like him
Yeah.
more than Charles.
No, Bell is he's kind of like, he's somebody that's you kind of never seen before.
Yeah.
He is so fast. His moves are amazing, and he can also, take some hits and
Mm-hmm.
keep them moving.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, which it's a big hit for the Pittsburgh Steelers,
Who just got back.
Who just got Big Ben,
You know.
and man,
And they were looking good in the first quarter. In the first the
Uh-huh.
first half they looked okay. But once Bell went down, it was game over essentially.
well, either way, like even if Bell didn't get injured and it was their first game back together, you could understand if they would lose or not have a perfect game or whatever. But in the long haul, that would have been. I mean, it's hard to stop a team that has 3 of the They at each of the 3 main positions on offense. They
Top
have
5.
one of the top 5
Yeah,
players.
sure.
I mean, it's not often that you see something like that, and unfortunately for the Pittsburgh Steelers, it just hasn't been able to work out this year. But I'm sure all of them will plan on staying together, at least for the end of Big Ben's career, because
Which is
they have a
another
good
8
thing
years.
yeah. I mean, Big Ben will never stop until he can't play, just like
Actually,
Tom Brady and Peyton
Favre
Manning and Favre and all those guys. He's one of the greats, so I'm excited to see how that thing works out over there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, because the Steelers was just a dead.
Yeah, and it's just unlucky,
Yep.
but it happens, and you can never prepare for it. Steve Smith.
Another one, man. And all these are all pretty fucking big names too that are getting hurt.
Yeah, Steve Smith. He actually this week he came back from a back injury that he had suffered 2 weeks ago, or I think it might have been 3 weeks ago because he missed a game. He came back from an injury, and then just to get injured again, and it's looking like it's going to be the end of his season.
Yeah. And it's Achilles.
Just
so,
like Bell, sorry.
You know,
Just like Bell.
yeah.
Also out for the year. Yeah. It sucks because this guy, he's 36 years old. He plays harder than anybody in the NFL. If not harder than, just as hard as a 36-year-old.
He's Allen Iverson of football.
I.
Though.
That's an amazing analogy. He has the attitude and the shit to back it up. And, yeah, he...
Especially when he was saying, like, this was going to be his last year only for him to fucking tear his Achilles.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, and, the word going around is that, at least in Baltimore, is that I'm sure he's going to come back.
Which he should.
Which he should, because...
This is the last way to go out.
When he was healthy this year, he had at least 2 or 3 really good games.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for someone his age, but
just in general.
someone that plays his position.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
Hopefully he come back.
Yeah. Steve Smith is one of the greats.
Another big name. What's his face? Wake.
Mm-hmm.
Cameron Wake.
Cameron Wake?
Also the Achilles.
That damn Achilles.
No. Always out to get you. The Cameron Wake hit also just got back from injury. I think. Yeah. And like you didn't really see what him and Sue could do there. And only for him to come back and get hurt. And Wake's been a beast since he came over from the Canadian Football League a couple years ago.
Yeah. Well, the
Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Always got to start off saying the Bears.
I know you do. What happened with the Bears?
Well, they're no, actually, you start off because fuck.
Cause you fuck.
Matt Forte hurt his knee.
Start over. Matt Forte for the Chicago
Bears.
the
Bears.
the
Bears.
Matt Forte got injured. Sucks. Huh?
That's it for the
Bears. Sorry, I didn't get that.
Bears barometer.
Bears. Wait, what? Bears what?
Barometer.
Barometer. You said Bears barometer, so
Well, yeah.
I'm pretty sure barometer is already a thing.
Yeah, that's why I said that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Matt Forte being injured for the
Are we doing it again? Bears. Bears.
is a big thing. All I can think about is the
Bears.
Yeah. Jay Cutler having a subpar season. Understandable. They got Alshon Jeffrey back a couple weeks ago.
Got those big old paws.
He's big old paws of the Bears.
Of the Bears.
The bear paws.
Yep. Classic bear paws.
Bear claw, which
Bear
is
claws,
a great dessert.
Mm-hmm.
Alshon Jeffrey has the great pastries of the Chicago Bears.
That's a great pastries.
Yeah, he's got the bear paws.
Are pastries like a woman's clothing brand or something too?
I don't
Pastries?
fucking know. All I know is that his hands are pastries, bear claws.
Pastry bear claws for the Bears.
The Bears. Alshon Jeffrey. Jay Cutler back. Jay Cutler was. Alshon Jeffrey came back. He's doing his thing. Matt Forte. Oh, Alshon Jeffrey's back. So it's not just me on offense. Yeah. Besides Jay Cutler. And then, guess what happens? Matt Forte gets injured.
Yep.
There's no definite word on how long Matt Forte will be out, but no matter how long he's out, it's not a good thing because a very good running back, catching the ball, running the ball, doing it all
For the Bears.
for the Bears. So sucks. Calvin Johnson, Megatron.
Johnson.
He suffered an ankle injury, which is iffy for wide receivers. They obviously need those ankles.
Well, someone his size.
Someone his size, yeah. I mean, it's not like he's got like 150 pounds on that ankle. He's got, close to 220
Yeah.
probably. He's a giant man. He's just a built man. So
He's just a built older man.
he's a long old
that's
man.
Long old man. Yeah.
Anywho's Calvin Johnson being injured.
It's not going to derail the offense, that's for sure.
Yeah, they don't have
There's
anything
no
going
hope.
for them.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
I mean, you could kind of say the same thing about Matt Forte with the Bears. I mean,
The Bears.
So, I mean, those two injuries, as they are great players and huge parts of the offense, it's... I mean, it's better to happen in a year like this than any other year.
No, yeah, for sure.
So,
On to San Diego. Pretty much where the whole team got hurt this weekend.
tell me about it.
Okay. Their offensive tackle. They lost a linebacker. And they lost their stud number one wide receiver. Everybody
Who
hurt
is
out there. Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
It's like third
he is
in reception
He's the
yards.
third in receiving yards.
And like fourth in catches or
yeah,
one or two.
he's tearing it up this year.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Killing it for you fantasy owners out there.
Yeah,
Owners of Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen owners. Keenan Allen owners. Yeah, it's true. And to be honest, San Diego Charger fantasy owners have had issues this year because you might have started out thinking that Melvin Gordon would do something, and that didn't work out. And then Danny Woodhead's getting more of the action recently.
Oh, yeah.
He two games ago he had 20-something points.
I think last one he
Fantasy-wise.
had like
And
17,
nope.
18.
Nope.
Nope.
He had 4.
Nope, as well.
He had 4 fantasy
Wow.
points.
Check
Phillip
this.
Rivers, great fantasy QB, has had a up and down kind of year.
More on the up with all the yards he's thrown.
Yeah, but there's been a lot of interceptions and other things of that nature. He is actually not one of the top 5.
Yeah.
So, which I would have projected him to be one of the top 5 fantasy QBs in the NFL.
But, I mean, at that point, I don't think fantasy comes down to how well he's actually playing, because if his team was winning, he'd be in the MVP conversation, in my opinion, just because he's literally carrying this team on his back.
But you
Everything's
also have to
doing.
take into mind that when your defense isn't
Yeah, it's correct.
keeping the offense
Mm-hmm.
off the field, then the offense is always going to be on the field.
Yeah.
And literally all you have to do, all you have is, I need to throw the ball and get some touchdowns and blah, blah, blah. That's all I have to do. That's why you get these 500-yard games as a passer, is because you're trying to come back from losing. And they're 2-6.
Speaking of touchdowns and 500-yard games, Saints and Giants. Every 2 minutes, I looked on my phone. There was a touchdown.
Yes, that was an amazing game. I didn't have the opportunity to watch it, but looking at... if you just look at the box score of that game, it's like, what?
What's it, 52-49?
It was 52-49.
This is a
And
joke.
you know what the funniest thing about that game is that a game filled with passing touchdowns, and there was one pick six. The game was won by a field goal.
True.
Which is kind of funny.
Mm.
A game, no offense could be stopped.
Yeah, and I think what's even more entertaining about the game is that afterwards everyone's like, "Oh, Drew Brees," and no one is realizing Eli had like the best game of his entire life.
Yeah,
because Drew Brees stole the spotlight.
Yeah,
you know?
In that kind of a game, it's kind of hard to say that either quarterback deserves what they ended up with, just because obviously both defenses were nothing.
Yeah,
it's like
non-existent.
Basically, if you threw a couple quarterbacks out there with the receivers and there was no defense,
that's pretty much how the score went.
I mean, what if there's a game with that many passing touchdowns? I mean, how is their defense doing anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who are you covering?
There was probably like 4 or 5 combined punts. That's a lot more than I thought.
Oh yeah, in a game like that, you kind of expect that there was no punts.
Yeah, we just went for it on 4th down. Actually, though.
Yeah, it's 52-49.
That's one of the crazier games I can remember in the last 5 years or so. What at the top of the dome?
The next.
Oh.
Can you stop moving the fucking table? Good. The next item on our agenda, the next item that is not for sale, and he's also not on the shelf.
True.
And the shelf being the playing field.
Mm-hmm. The shelf being the playing field. Yep.
This man was being benched.
On his birthday, it was announced.
Sad.
Colin Kaepernick.
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
Kaepernick has been...
Kaepernick.
First of all, he was handed an opportunity to get to the Super Bowl in his first year at starting quarterback. Coming in halfway through the year. Yeah. He was handed the keys to the Ferrari, yeah. So he had this amazing entrance to his career. He, the next year, had a semi-decent year. Semi-decent for...
Well, real quick, and like going to the Super Bowl, one pass away from a Super Bowl ring, which is pretty crazy. Yeah.
Also,
year.
Not because of him.
Yeah.
The second year, semi-decent year. Unfortunately, he got outmanned by one of the greatest
future Super Bowl MVP.
One of the greatest teams of all time.
Future Super Bowl MVP.
The Seattle Seahawks of 2014.
14. Also, one touchdown, one correctly thrown pass away from going to another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Yes. But then...
There's a common theme there.
Mm-hmm.
It's called accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the next year...
A shit show last year.
Yeah. Just... anyway, like his career has gone downhill from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like there's no Super Bowl, NFC Championship. Downhill
Until he gets benched.
And what'd you say?
Up until he gets benched.
He got benched. He's getting benched.
Yeah.
The thing about Kaepernick, though, is they're not doing this to check out other options. They're doing this to get his mind right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, me, myself, I think it's really not that his mind is fogged up or whatever. I just think that...
Comes down to his skill.
he has been an overrated player ever since he's been in the league. Obviously, he can run, but I mean, I don't know. I just haven't seen enough for him to be one of a top quarterback in the NFL, one that can take a franchise to a Super Bowl. Anyway, that's enough about. I mean, we could talk all day about how the 49ers suck and the. Well, I guess we can't say that the Seahawks are that
much
awesome.
better.
Seahawks are having an insane bad year for our standards.
Yep.
For our expectations. Russell Wilson.
We're gonna talk to him. Oh,
I can't say anything about Russell Wilson
I don't even
because
want to talk
I don't want to just go off on how I feel about him, and trust me, most of the world wouldn't agree with me just because you're all in.
Yeah, no hawk talk.
No hot talk.
No hot talk.
Yeah, it's
Not worth it. We'll spend an hour and a half on it.
yeah. There's so many things that need to be said about the Seahawks. I wish that I was a part of their organization. I wish that we were a part of their organization so we could have a talk to them.
Give them good.
Or get them good ass chewing
Yeah,
on
right.
how they need to be out there performing and shit.
Yeah,
In Houston.
I hear you.
I hear ya. The only thing that we have left on our agenda is the garbage play of the week. Taylor, why don't you start us off with your garbage play of the week?
Well, being a little bit harsh here, but he is going to go down as one of the better quarterbacks of all time. He was injured the last 3-4 games. That's Big Ben. Now, again, going a little harsh, but he did throw 2 interceptions in the last 5 minutes of the game. One of them ended up being the game-winning touchdown. So I got to toss Big Ben in there because you should know better, man. You really should.
I was watching that game. It was it seemed like a game that the Steelers were going to win.
Yeah.
It really did.
Mm-hmm.
It all just came down to offensive execution.
Yeah, just getting first downs and shit like that.
Mm-hmm. And
They didn't do it.
and you got, Bell.
No.
No, Bell was
Well,
injured.
Bell was injured, yeah.
You're right. But yeah, Antonio Brown. D'Angelo Williams actually picked up very well. I think he ended up with more than 50 yards.
Yeah, he had 70 some, but 40 or 50 of them came on one run.
Yeah, that's true. He had a good run.
Yeah.
But anyway, you got so many offensive weapons. Getting first downs shouldn't really be an issue. But obviously, he might have been a little rusty.
Yeah.
But that doesn't exclude him from
Garbage play of the week,
Garbage play of the week. There's no grandfathering in or grandfathering out, I should say, of being a garbage player of the week because you fucking sucked, and it's your fault.
It's her fault.
You can't blame it on Josh Scobie anymore.
Classics to go.
My garbage player of the week this week is Jeff Arians. Is that his name? Jeff?
Wait, who? What? Jeff? My name
Mr. Arians.
Mr. Arians. Bruce.
Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians. I knew that too. Bruce Arians, the coach of the Arizona Cardinals. The reason that I am naming him the garbage player of the week as a coach is because of simply what he did fantasy-wise. Which is funny. He not only did he say that John Brown, which has been one of their most key receivers this year, was active, giving fantasy owners all they need to start him.
Mm.
That's all they need to start a guy like John Brown. I'm sure most people started John Brown just because of, he's active and, he's got several touchdowns. Pretty good games.
Especially going against the Browns.
Against the Browns. not only did that happen, but after the game, he spoke with someone and said, tough shit.
Yeah, tough
Fantasy owners.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was active and they didn't even have him play, not even a snap.
Why is
make
he
him
active?
Yeah, why? What is the point?
Is it to throw off the game plan of the opposition?
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of. But not only does that really not matter when you have other receivers on your team as well, like
Fitzgerald and
John
Floyd.
Brown is not the number one
Yeah.
receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's the Cleveland Browns. What the fuck? If you're playing games, why the fuck do you need to play games? It's Cleveland Browns. What the fuck are they gonna do?
No.
You got your shit straight for this week. Don't play no games.
No games.
Just play the game, which is NFL football. How about you?
Happy Uber?
Yeah, I just can't believe that he did that.
Yeah.
To say tough shit, fantasy owners. Like, not only are you fucking up, I'm just gonna say all you're doing at that point is fucking with the people that watch your team and care about your team.
Because if I was a fan of his team, like let's say it was, like a Graham. Well, he's active today, and then I don't see him the whole entire game. I'm gonna flip shit. I'm going to flip shit.
And not only that, but the importance of fantasy football in this world today is getting more and more and more and more and more important. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Like, more and more people play fantasy football every year, and more people care more and more about it, and there's even, like, betting and all this shit, and it's just
FanDuel, DraftKings!
Yeah, it's like, you're literally...
Promo code TOBSSC!
By doing something like that, saying someone's active, but you're not going to play them, you're literally just fucking people's lives over. Like, actually... Even though you think that it's it's a part of the game and blah, blah, blah. It's really not that for other people that are paying for you to be a fucking coach in the NFL. We're literally paying your salary by being fans of the NFL. Every dollar that the NFL gets, they pay to the coaches, technically. Owners get the money. It all trickles down. It's... I don't know. It's... Fuck you. Bruce Arians. Not to mention he's in the NFC West.
Yeah, true.
I mean, Pete Carroll will never pull this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And not to mention that, but if he was to, who would care? Because nobody
does anything on offense anyway.
Nobody wants Doug Baldwin on the team.
True.
that would be the equal.
Oh no! I thought Doug was active. Not Baldwin. Get 89 in the game.
Fuck, man. Yeah, the Seahawks they're in trouble. Yeah, we have issues. I think this is as good a time as any to end the show tonight. I think we had a good one.
Hope so.
Thank you guys for watching. It's been great.
I see you right there.
I see you.
With a little smirk right now.
Thank you for watching the second best sports show ever. That would be the 2BSSC.
2BSSC.
Hope you guys liked it. Comment. Tell us what you think.
Tweet at us.
Tweet at us at 2BSSC.
MySpace us.
There's no MySpace.
Uber us.
We don't drive.
I'm
Cars
the Uber
forever.
driver. 2BSSC Uber driver.
You're not.
They don't know that.
That's true, but if that's something you want, we could do that.
Okay.
Uber drive. We could Uber drive.
We can have an Uber episode.
Uber episode.
LinkedIn.
Facebook.
Yeah. Facebook. Twitter. Text us.
Text us. Wow.
Subscribe, YouTube.
Subscribe. Let's get down to brass tacks. All right. Subscribe.
Oh.
Subscribe to our show here. I mean,
It's like a best sports
it's
show
fun. It's fun. We're having fun.
ever. Peace.
French. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching. Love you. Watch. We got this thing going. We're gonna do it. Good night, guys, and thank you for watching. Let's try
Good night counter.
8 different sayanaras. Good night and good luck.
Please cherish your evening.
Sayonara. You guys on the other side of that lens there, you have good night.
Have a good night.
TBSC. Wow. Okay. Half the stuff's gonna get cut, but we're still gonna
That's
do
what you
it
think. We're gonna do it. Just to prove it.
until the hotline blinks.
Until the hotline bling. I can only mean one thing. Do the drizzy dance. Don't know what to do with my hands.